Planning a trip to Europe is exciting, picking cities, dreaming of the food, maybe hopping trains just because you can, but it's also complicated. One delayed flight or train could derail the whole itinerary. Bags often get lost in transfers, and medical costs without coverage can add up fast. I've been there myself. I landed in Paris, but my bag didn't. It's exactly when you either scramble or breathe easy knowing you've got the right coverage. Not the fine print kind you forget about, but coverage that actually helps while you're traveling. Whether it's getting money back quickly, finding a doctor when you don't speak the language, or covering a hotel when a flight leaves you stranded. So in this video, I'll show you what kind of travel insurance actually makes sense for a Europe trip, and how Faye, Allianz, and Travelex compare when it comes to keeping your plans on track. Let's start off with Faye, and it feels different than most travel insurances because instead of being something you only think about if disaster strikes, it's designed for how we travel nowadays. Everything runs through their app, it's quick to set up, and it actually helps while you're on the move. Getting covered is simple. All you do is put in your destination, your dates, and what the trip costs, and Faye builds a plan around it. So if, say, you're headed to Germany and Italy for 2 weeks, you'll get coverage shaped exactly for that trip. You can add extras too, like rental car coverage, cancel for any reason, or even pet protection. It feels like it adapts to your trip instead of forcing you into one-size-fits-all policy. What makes it stand out is the real-time support once you're abroad. If your flight gets delayed at Charles de Gaulle, you'll know before the board updates. If you get sick in Berlin, you can connect instantly to one of thousands of telemedicine doctors. And if your bag misses a connection in Rome, you'll see updates right in the app. Even basics like local emergency numbers or storing your passport offline are built in. All those little details you'll usually be digging around for are just there when you need them. The other big difference is claims. With most insurers, you're filling out forms and waiting weeks for a check to show up in the mail. With Faye, you upload your receipts in the app, most claims are processed in under 2 days, and the money goes straight into a digital wallet linked to Apple or Google Pay. So if you're stranded overnight in Madrid, you can use that payout immediately on a hotel and dinner instead of worrying how you'll cover it. And to get an idea of cost, my $2,000 2-week trip to Italy came out to just under $127, about 6%. Not bad at all for the peace of mind of knowing you're covered if things take a turn. And if you're thinking of giving Faye a try, there's a link down in the description where you can check out the latest pricing and coverage details. Now, before I dive into other travel insurance options, let me share a real quick travel hack I've been using lately to save money on bookings. It's called Private Honors, and it gives you up to 12% cash back on every trip. Here's the idea. Private Honors taps into wholesale travel rates, basically the prices travel agents see, which can run up to 20% cheaper than public booking sites. If you ever used Expedia, this one will feel familiar because Private Honors actually runs through Expedia's travel agent affiliate program, or TAP. That's how it passes along discounts and cash back that you normally won't see. I've used it for flights, hotels, even car rentals, and more than once it beat the prices I found on my own with sites like Skyscanner. Once you sign up, even if it's just a free trial, you can hit the Book My Trip Now, and it takes you right into Expedia TAP's booking portal. From there, it looks like any other search page, except Private Honors flags the discounted rates. Like, for example, I've got my mindset on going to Paris this fall, so I just plugged in my date range and traveler info, and the results popped up as usual. But one of the hotels, Hotel Chamar, showed a 50% discount for those dates. You click through, and just like anywhere else, you'll see the photos and reviews. You're just booking at a lower wholesale rate. So if you want to see how Private Honors cut down on your travel costs, check out our in-depth review video and use the affiliate links down in the description to get started. Now, if Faye is the modern option, Allianz is the opposite, the name everyone knows. They've been around forever, and there's comfort in that. When you're overseas dealing with something stressful, it matters to know your insurer has a long track record of paying claims. The coverage is solid, though the experience feels more old school. Most things run through their website or a phone call instead of an app. They do have a 24/7 emergency line, which is especially helpful if you lose documents or need legal help. It works, but it can feel slower compared to an app that keeps you updated in real time. Now, their plans are tiered, Basic, Prime, and Premier, with higher levels offering more coverage. On the Premier plan, for example, you can get up to $1,600 for travel delays and $600 for baggage delays. That can cover you for up to $200 per day per person if a flight is delayed by 3 or more hours, or covers essential purchases if your bag is delayed by 12 hours by a common carrier. One big thing for families is that kids under 17 are usually covered for free when traveling with a parent or grandparent. If you're already paying for 4 flights, hotels, and meals, not having to add extra insurance for the kids is a big deal. Now, the pricing is mainly based on your age and trip costs, not where you're going or how long you'll be there. So depending on your itinerary, that can work in your favor, especially if you're visiting multiple countries. So Allianz is closer to that classic insurance model. It's not as fast or hands-on as something like Faye, but if you value name recognition and a reliable reputation, it's a safe choice. especially for family trips. Now, Travelex is the choice if you want higher coverage limits and more control over your plan. For a trip with multiple countries or more crazy activities, that extra cushion can feel reassuring. Their top-tier plan covers up to 250,000 medical emergencies and $1 million for evacuation. That matters if you're skiing in the Alps and need an airlift, or face a serious accident in a remote spot. Without those high limits, you'd be paying the difference yourself. Their trip coverage is also pretty solid. Cancellation coverage goes up to $50,000, so if you prepaid for a river cruise and have to back out, you'd be protected. They also offer 150% interruption coverage, which helps if you need to cut a trip short and rebook unexpectedly. And baggage protection of $2,000 gives enough room to replace essentials if your luggage doesn't show up. The experience itself is more traditional, like Allianz. You'll file claims online or over the phone, but Travelex does assign a dedicated claims administrator, and that extra guidance can make the process feel more personal, even if it's not as fast as an app like Faye. But flexibility is where they really shine. You've got add-ons like cancel for any reason, which means even if you change your mind about a budget flight, you're still covered. They also have options for pet care while you're abroad, or work-related cancellations if a project suddenly keeps you from traveling. So Travelex is best for people who like having every angle covered. Whether it's families doing a once-in-a-lifetime trip or planners who want the highest safety net possible, it's not as seamless as Faye, but for peace of mind and flexibility, it delivers. Okay, so here is the big picture. If you want coverage that feels built for modern travel, fast, app-based, and helpful mid-trip, Faye's the one that stands out. It's designed to support you when you're on the ground, not just after things go wrong. If stability and name recognition matter most, Allianz is the classic choice. It may be a little slower and more paperwork heavy, but it brings the reassurance of a company that's been paying claims for decades. And if your priority is higher limits and the ability to customize, Travelex has those options. For trips that hit a bunch of countries or include adventure sports, those add-ons can give you some extra coverage where you want it. In the end, it's really about what makes you feel confident. For me, the convenience of instant payouts and real-time help makes Faye the most useful choice for a Europe trip. Allianz is okay for families, and Travelex works great for those who want higher limits, but Faye feels like the option that actually makes travel less stressful while you're on the road. And if you want to see whether Faye or private honors would work for your trip, just use the affiliate links in the description to check the latest pricing and details. Also, if you're interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, just reach out using the email in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helps you plan with a little more peace of mind. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.